Hello, pretty casual gaming. This is Slanderman, and with me is Tehnoobcake. Say hello.
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 With this video, we will be showing our reaction to the FanFest.
Keynote address.
Yeah, keynote address, and I hope you will like our reaction, and then let's get into it.
Well, before we do, I will say that we recorded this late last night. We were both very tired.
Very tired.
It may not be the most enticing reactions, but if you are wanting to see our more hype reactions, you can watch our trailer reaction over on a separate video. We'll leave a note in the description for people to go to that one.
Yes.
And as Slandy said, enjoy the video. All right, let me know when you're ready.
I am ready now.
Was that actually? Let me full screen mine. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Obviously, a note will be that we're going to have to watch the trailer again, but I don't mind. That thing was awesome.
Yeah, that trailer was pretty nice.
Oh, Zeos looked so cool. He had a gun scythe. Come on, so let me just look at this video and see if we can. Right, click on your video and fast forward to 2 minutes 2 minutes 40. Or 2 minutes. I've gone way too far. Alright, 2 minutes 40. You ready? Oh, you're a bit ahead of me. What seconds are you on? That should just be fine, but what seconds are you on? And I'll get mine to it.
I'm on 2 minutes and 43.
Alright, pause it, and then ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, play again. Get to watch that awesome trailer again. That was so cool. Oh my god. That made me wet.
Oh, it's starting.
Oh, it's another timer. Oh my god, 1 second. Right, fast forward to like when the thing says 5.
Okay, when the thing says 5, 9.
You may have to play that. Oh, that's 4. Right, just go from 9 and then play it to 5 and then pause it at the moment it's 5 again. Right, there you go, pause. Alright, 3, 2, 1, play again. I think I'm like a second ahead of you, but that shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
What a mess. But I can't believe I've been torturing myself all day waiting for this. Was it worth it? Yes, it fucking was. Whatever the fuck Estinian is bringing to the table, we need that as Dragoons.
Yeah.
Dragoons need a pet. Give me that. Still want to know the significance of the outfit that he's wearing. Because obviously everyone's like, oh, it's because it's based off Ascian. It's like, yeah, but why is the warrior... Gonna try to see if I can if I missed out during the first watch.
You're right. I can look after myself, you know. And I've had enough.
My jaw hurts from smiling.
As the chaos spread,
I love how it just randomly switches to the Heaven's Ward theme.
and yet there were those who stood in
You hearing me?
of that
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Just been unresponsive. That dragon's cool looking. It looks kind of like a zombie dragon. But like its design is nothing we've seen before.
I mean, the trailer is pretty loud, but I can always turn that down a bit later.
Well, you'll need to turn it down so you can hear me. It still sounds like a Linkin Park song to me. Do you get what I mean?
stage is set. But will our heroes deign to play their part?
Franquid looks a little grown up. I know he like still looks the same, but like something about the animation style makes him look more grown up.
Yeah.
But fleeting. The end draweth nigh.
I love how this is meant to be a big surprise to people, but anyone who is spraying full, who's in the story, obviously further enough, we knew he was off to Sharlayan. The moment they announced Sage, it was obvious.
I knew it. This star still has secrets to tell.
Wow, looks really freaking Japanese in this. Like, I know it's a Japanese game, obviously, but like his animation style looks more Japanese.
Yeah.
So, Sharlayan would keep its counsel while the world is lost to ruin.
It would. Come what may, we shall live on.
I even like Y'shtola in this trailer, and I usually hate Y'shtola.
Do as you must then. But we scions will
You just want her to perish.
until our last
And never
Just
come
wanted to
back.
die. Just wanted to die permanently. If she's gonna die permanently. That size looks like it belongs in Monster Hunter. Xenos took a trip to Monster Hunter during the wait for the expansion. The thing with Estini is so cool.
Past the far edge of fate. Ring blades dark and light. Tolling
Screensaver?
What?
Or my green background? Him standing there in that pose. That's my new background picture for my computer. The moment we're done with this.
Yeah. Fall 2021.
I actually already know the date. It's one thing that got revealed to me before.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I'm not too fussed about that of a spoiler though. Oh, that's flashy. Good thing neither brothers are epileptic. I'm just so hyped now. What on earth is this outfit? Like, I know it's a new job, but my god.
That looks amazing.
Wonder what it's called. If it's Necromancer, I swear to god I'm gonna rip my face off.
Minasan, konnichiwa! Final Fantasy XIV プロデューサー兼ディレクターの吉田です。
Don't worry, there is a translator.
うわ、コメントすごい。ありがとうございます。皆さんようこそお越しくださいました。そして、ファイナルファンタジー14ファンフェスティバル2021アラウンザワールド、開始していきたいと思います。
Can you hear mine coming through my mic too much, by the way?
Nope.
Oh, that's good then.
Festival 2021 Around the World 僕一人では厳しいので、早速相棒を呼んでみたいと思います。コージー
That's the translator.
Well, he's actually the English. He's the one who does our localization version of the game.
Okay.
The localization supervisor on Final Fantasy XIV, and today I will be Yoshi P's English voice for the keynote. So let's begin.
さあ、ファンフェス開始は僕の基調講演
His version doesn't have a gun in it, so I wonder if we don't get the gunblade version of the site.
まだコージーって言ってるな。
All right, so we're going to take a look at some of the comments from people from around the world. Let's take a look at YouTube first.
He's such a showman. Yoshi, I mean, not Koji.
Can't even read it.
Koji just looks like a dork at the back of the stage.
Going even faster now.
さあ、ここはですね、ニコニコです。ニコニコ。
Like, I love Koji, but he's such a dork.
Oh wow, that's for cutting grass.
さあ、どうでしょうね。
Cutting grass, of course.
Morning, everybody on Nico Nico.
What would be absolutely great is if they were like, oh yeah, this actually isn't the new battle class, it's the new gathering class. It's a farming job.
こちらは Twitch です。おはようございます。
We have our Twitch feed. Good morning, everyone watching on Twitch.
今回ね、ファンフェス、残念ながら、コロナ禍の影響でですね、世界ツアー、相次ぐ中止になってしまって、今日デジタルという形で全世界配信で行こうと思ってます。
We would really would have liked to have had this fan festival today in front of fans here to this wonderful arena, but because of the coronavirus pandemic,
I was going to go to the fan fest in London this year. So good we didn't get to go to it.
Oh, nice.
その分だけですね、
It's not nice because it didn't end up being a thing. Are you okay about that?
Yeah.
ファンフェス2日間
Sneezing.
お届けしていきたいと思ってます。
Yes.
どうぞよろしくお願いします。
we'd like to use the comments from everyone watching. We've got these screens up here so we can see everybody's comments, and we'd like to use those throughout the keynote and the festival so that you guys can participate with us.
それでは早速基調講演スタートしていこうと思うんですが、
So we'd like to start off now with our first presentation of the night, the keynote address.
この基調講演ではですね、僕がこの衣装を着るために、この数ヶ月涙ぐましい努力をしてきたその過程をですね、2時間にわたってお届けしたいと思います。
So for this keynote address, we'd like to spend the next 2 hours talking about
That bloody hat, man.
go on a very rigorous diet for the past 2 months to be able to fit into this wonderful costume.
って言ってるみんな。
Everyone's kind of like, what? What?
そんなのいいから拡張の話しろよって感
Ah,
じですね。
so you want us to talk about the expansion, not the diet.
では早速、冗談はさておき、もちろんこの基調講演でお話しするのは次なる拡張パッケージエンドウォーカーの話になります。
All right, and so the focus of this keynote address is going to be almost solely on content for the next expansion, Endwalker.
One second, I'm just.
では最初にですね、当然この衣装気になってると思うので、
No, I thought I was watching something about freaking World of
What
Warcraft.
is it I'm wearing? Well, it's time to find out.
まずは
New
早速
jobs.
新たなジョブからお
It's
届け
about
していき
bloody
たいと思い
time.
ます
All right, so let's learn about the second job in the Endwalker expansion.
まあエンゲージってい
They
う
take
ポイント
so
が
long to reveal it. They're such
エンゲージ
bastards.
はすでに
Come on.
They're like
So
they're like the
let's,
biggest
uh,
cock teasers ever.
To cut grass, another disciple of the land. No, we already have one of those.
あとはね、日本のコミュニティではね、相変わらずね、力士、相撲レスラーはまだか。
Right, and then of course the Japanese community really wants a sumo wrestler in the
So-
next job.
巨大な鎌を持った回しを締めた吉田が出てくるんじゃ
And
ないか
so yeah,
書いてあった
they're expecting everyone to come out in just the mawashi, all naked, holding a giant scythe.
まあさすがにね、僕が着れるかどうかでジョブ決めてるわけじゃないですけど、
Yeah, but it's not whether I can wear the costume or not. That's not how we decide on the job.
先ほど公開になったフルトレーラー、こちらで、登場してましたが、ゼノスが、ね、僕と同じく鎌を持ってました。行月のフィナーレでは、ゼノスがどうやらこのジョブにジョブチェンジするようです。
So in that trailer that you just watched, the full-length trailer, the extended trailer, we saw that Xenos also was in a similar outfit with a similar weapon. So yes, for Endwalker, it is
The
Xenos
bastard had a gun scythe.
job.
さて、世界中でですね、ジョブの予想が行われていて、まあ、ネクロマンサーに始まって、なんかものすごい深読みからテンプルナイトじゃないかっていうのもね、出てました。
Just double checking, you are recording the sound of this.
I
Stream
am.
as well.
I am.
Yeah, okay.
I am still recording and everything.
Necromancer, and then people started really reading into it and throwing out things such as Temple Knight.
さて、その気になるジョブ名ですが、お伝えしていきたいんです
Just lost my clip that I was
前にもうさっさと
fiddling with.
ご覧いただきましょう。
And so, the actual name of the job is what you're all dying to know. But first, we have for you
Oh.
premiere footage. Roll it.
See what I mean? It's such a cock tease.
At least we're getting some footage of the class, I think. Oh!
No.
Oh!
No.
Yes!
It's not Necromancer, is it? Some cool animations.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What
Oh!
on earth?
Oh!
No.
Yes! Yes!
I hate them. I love it, but I hate them at the same time.
I'm sold, I'm sold.
Really? See, I'm not making job predictions ever again anymore. Reaper. It's a freaking
Uh,
はい、そして新たなジョブの
Necromancer.
名前をリーパーと言います。
And so, the second job in Endwalker
Nice.
the two-handed side
It's a
wielding
freaking
Reaper.
Necromancer.
そうコメントどうですかね。
That was so cool.
Some comments?
yeah, that looks pretty amazing.
出たりする
There's a little bit of
あ
lag.
りますけどね。
Oh, nice.
ああ
Let's hope it plays well as well when it's out.
すごいすごい
I have no words.
吉田さっきの
This is just such a coy way for them to give us Necromancer, but
Someone has
not call it Necromancer.
asked Yoshida to
when it's
spin
so
the
freaking
camera
obviously
side by side
Necromancer.
like it was done in the video that we just saw. Can you do that, please?
ちょっとね、48歳の非化線おじさんにちょっと
My God.
That's a little bit difficult for a 48-year-old warrior.
言われてせいで
He can do the pose though.
すいません、すいません、調子に乗りました。
Sorry about that.
さて、このリーパーというジョブなんですが、これまでのファイナルファンタジーシリーズに登場してないファイナルファンタジー
I've never been so happy and annoyed at the exact same time.
So as you have already probably noticed, this is a completely original
Good.
job that you won't find in any other Final Fantasy, only in Final Fantasy XIV.
ちょっと CG の方も見ていきましょ
Let's take a look at some CG.
う。ゼノスがペレアの
That minion looks awesome.
選手と再戦を夢見て渇望したのがこの武器、サイズ。 大釜のようですね。
And so, as we know, Xenos has been longing for a battle with the Warrior of Light, and this is the job and the weapon, the scythe, that he took up to do so.
ゼノスがこの武器を握るのはこの後リリースが予定されているパッチ 5.55、黎明の使徒パート2になるようです。
And Xenos will take up that scythe in the second half of the Death Unto Dawn series, patch 5.55.
それではですね、リーパーどんなジョブであるのかほんの少しではありますがご紹介していくことにしましょう。
All right, so we want to talk today a little bit about what the Reaper job entails.
出てるよね。
Being a necromancer.
パッチがね、まぶかいんでね。
It's hard to see with the
Yeah,
hat.
that's
Okay,
it.
it's on the screen.
スクリーンの返し見ながらになるんでちょっと下向き気味ですけどご容赦ください。
Okay, I'm going to be using the screens up here in front to check out. So if I'm looking down, it's just because I'm looking at this.
まずロールですね。
All right, so first off, we're going to look at the roll.
ロールは以前お伝えした通り、
Melee DPS.
メレー DPS。
Yeah, they actually told us about this at the last FanFest.
Yeah.
It's going to be melee DPS.
装備枠はですね、竜騎士と同じ、区分になります。
All right, the melee armor subclass will be the same as Dragoon.
Maiming.
続いてメインウェポンです。こちらは今僕もね持ってます。この両手釜サイズがメイン武器となります。
And its primary means of dealing damage is the two-handed scythe.
重たいんですよねこれ。
It's very heavy.
そして続いて対応クラスです。でこちら対応クラスは、最近エクスパンションでリリースされているジョブと同じ対応クラスは存在しません。
And as is the case with most of our recent job releases, there is no corresponding class.
主要の条件ですが、行月のフィナーレの
Don't know why they even tell you that at this point. It's just fucking
い
obvious.
ずれかの
Yeah.
レベル70になっていることの2つが条件となってます。
All right, and there's two ways to be able to, or there's two things you have to do to be able to play the Reaper. That's first, you must have the Endwalker expansion, and second, you must have at least one job that is already at level 70.
当然そうなってくるとですね、初期レベルは
And you've finished it, Shadowbringers now, so you can pick that up
And the starting
because you're above level 70.
Yes. Oh.
さて、
Poor Samurai ain't gonna get any love next expansion.
どんなね、バトルのシステムがあって、どんな
I don't care. If the Reaper plays well, I'm probably gonna resort to that. I love undead and stuff and everything. So
bit upon how the Reaper actually fights in battle.
like my two main classes in World of Warcraft used to be Warlock and Death Knight until
Of course it was.
yeah,
This is an
and
AOS character. They have
and now
a
it's Demon Hunter. So
of attack.
まあこの両手釜による
so if this plays really well, like
So the
if I enjoy it and stuff, I think this will probably end up being my main.
象徴的なんですが、
so from
I
here,
I can already say
まあ、ファイナルファンタジー14の世界でよく耳にする異界ボイドという単語。なんとこのリーパー、その異界ボイドから
I've adamantly said against people that it would not be Necromancer. And technically I'm right, because it's not Necromancer.
that it can call
But it's
upon the
Necromancer.
power of the lifeless world you hear about so much in Final Fantasy
So
XIV,
angry.
the void.
そしてそこからアバターと呼ばれる、存在を刺激して、その能力を使っていきます。
And not only can Reapers wield the Void's power, but they can also temporarily channel the power of a Void Scent into their bodies and use that power as their own. A Void Scent avatar.
先ほど動画にもありました。
Oh,
実はそ
interesting.
のアバターを自己に吸収して、
I mean, it's basically Ranji, let's be honest.
いうのが非常に大きな特徴となってます。
It's just they've changed the little serpent thing into a
Channeling that Void Scent
Necromancer's minion.
power in the battle, like you saw in the mini trailer.
新たなジョブ体験を皆様にお届けするというコンセプトで、開発進んでおります。
We created this job really trying to create something that was very unique and original to this job, and unlike anything that you've seen in any other jobs.
そして気になるですね、ジョブクエスト、スタートはこちら、ウルダハからになります。
And so the job quests will be starting from Ul'dah.
ですので、行月のフィナーレリリース直後、もう俺はリーパーで進めていくぞという方はですね、リリース直前にウルダハでログアウトしておくことをお勧めします。
And so for those of you who want to be one of the first people in the world to play Reaper, make sure that before the release, the maintenance before the release of Endwalker, to log out in Ul'dah.
さて、まあ簡単ではありますけど、リーパーの紹介を軽くさせていただきましたので、それを踏まえてですね、もう一度動画をご覧いただこうと思います。そうすればね、ちょっとイメージも湧きやすいのかなと思います。ぜひご注目ください。
Alright, so that was just a little taste of what the Reaper job is like. We will have some more information for you at a later date. But today, let's take one more look at the video with all that we've just heard in mind. Play the video.
So many people are going to hold this against me. I give up trying to predict things. I give up trying to say I know what I'm on about. Yeah, we actually see that concept part where we become like the host of the avatar in this trailer if you watch. There, look.
Oh yeah. Nice.
That best be the /B stance for Reaper.
はい、ありがとうございました。というわけでこんな感じですかね。
God damn it.
Pretty much what the job looks like.
優しい武器スタンドがある今回。
Oh, somebody brought out a stand for my very, very heavy side.
I need to kill everyone before they can tell me that they were right.
Gonna have a sip of water?
But they were not wet.
なんたってね、
It's a Reaper.
Very hot.
This is going to be my defense now until the end of time. It's not Necromancer, it's Reaper. Whilst in my heart knowing I'm wrong.
So hot.
すごいな。コメントで吉田アバターとアバターに表してもらってって言われてる。
Ah, so they want an avatar to come to you. Should I be the avatar and come to you? Yoshi?
ちょっとね、
Like, like
ああ、ソーシャルディスタンス
social distancing? Okay.
ちょっと
See what I mean? Cody's such a freaking derp.
ちょっと黙ってて。
Ah, so he left his avatar back in the green room behind the stage.
はい、14オリジナルジョブとなるリーパーですが、早く使ってみたいと
I love how Yoshi was just like, get away from me.
Alright, I know you're looking forward to this job and really want to play it. You have to wait until the release, so please look forward to it.
続いてはちょっとストーリーについておさらいしておこうと思います。
Alright, next we'd like to move on to the story of Endwalker.
2月の新情報発表会でもお伝えしましたが、惑星ハイデルを、巡る物語、新生オールゼアから行月のフィナーレまでで、日と月を一周してちょうどハイデリンゾディアーク編完結を迎えることになります。
This is
As I
probably all
mentioned
stuff I already know.
Previous announcement showcase, Endwalker will bring us full circle in this tale of Hydaelyn that began with A Realm Reborn and is ending with Endwalker.
行月の物語は 6.0 で、パッチ 6.3 までではなくて 6.0 までで全ての物語、完結を迎えます。
And as mentioned before, the story will completely wrap up in 6.0, not 6.1, 2, or 3, but in 6.0.
That's one thing I'm looking forward to, just finishing the story at the end of 6.0.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of content in 6.0.
ただですね、もちろんそれによってね、ファイナルファンタジー14が終わってしまうわけではありません。
However, this does not mean in any way that Final Fantasy XIV is ending.
僕自身もです
The
ね、
people who think that it's ending, like the whole game, just wind me
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
その後も
Like,
ですね
how dense and stupid could you be?
とともに開発運営を続けてまいります。
Because I myself consider Final Fantasy XIV to be my life's work, I plan to continue working on both service and development well beyond 6.0. And so, from patch 6.1, we'll be starting a brand new story separate from the Hydaelyn and Zodiac story.
はい、続いて進めていきましょう。まあ皆さんの多くはですね、すでにパッチ5.5、黎明の使徒パート1のメインストーリーご覧になっていることかと思います。
So, probably most of you watching today have already played part 1 of Death Unto Dawn, patch 5.5.
You haven't.
Nope.
Disgusting behaviour.
Yeah, I know.
However, it's part 2 where you're going to start really getting into the thick of things.
あら、まだ申請やってるわっていうコメントを見ましたね、今。
Wait a minute, somebody was saying they're still on Realm Reborn in the comments?
もしまだ今、
That was me if you at the start of the year.
Yeah, you needed my foot up your ass.
Okay, so if there's any of you out there who have not played through 5.5 yet, or 5.5 yet, yes.
もちろん見てほしいんですよ。一生懸命見てほしいんですけ
We
ど。
want you to watch the keynote, of course.
Keep recording, I'm just grabbing a
But
pit.
there are a lot of spoilers, so
Yes.
ちょっとクリアしてから見るか、今日見た後、バンと頭ぶつけて記憶を消すか。
so we want you to either maybe refrain from watching some of the key parts today and watch it at another date, or maybe watch it today and then maybe hit your head against a wall and forget everything that you saw today so you can focus on the story.
ちょっと自己防衛に努めていただける
I say I'll get a pillow and then get my entire quilt.
その、先ほどご覧いただいたトレーラー、そして、パッチ5.5
Can you hear me?
メインクエストでも気になる都市の
Yeah,
名前が
yeah, I can hear you.
But as for where the journey in Endwalker will take us, an interesting name came up in patch 5.5, didn't it?
今回、皆さん、
See, here's one thing that I did say that they'd mention at this fan fest, which is Sharlayan. It was obvious.
拠点となるべき場所がこちらになります。
So we did talk about how players will be going to the moon in Endwalker, but before you go to the moon, you'll be working from here.
アートワークが出てますね。
Looks really pretty though, I'll say that.
こちら、
Yeah, it
皆
does.
さんの新たなタウンとなるオールドシャーレアンになります。
The polis of old Sharlayan.
漆黒の
That would be like your Crystarium,
Oh, okay, yeah.
whereas Radz-at-Han will be your
Sharlayan
Yulmore.
will serve as a
Yep.
hub city, similar to the Crystarium in Shadowbringers.
そうなんですよ。シャーレアンってみんな呼ぶんですけど、実はね、オールドシャーレアンが正式な名称です。
Everyone is calling it Sharlayan, but actually the name of this place is called Old Sharlayan.
ではこ
I'm still just going to call it
の
Sharlayan.
いろいろお話しする前に、今日は
What if you get a new Sharlayan in future?
まずはそちらを
We already have the new Sharlayan.
But
It's
before I talk a little bit more about Old Sharlayan,
Rindravania.
I have a walkthrough
Oh.
video to show you.
It's, Idleshire from Heaven's Ward.
あ、ただし、
Mm.
ただしです。
But wait,
That's
今日出す
New Sharlayan.
いろいろ動画出てきますけど、
Okay.
まだ開発中なので環境の詰めが甘いところでちょっとご容赦いただけたらと思います
so all of the footage that you're going to see here that you've seen before and what you're going to see from here through the whole keynote is all still in development, so there are still lots of room for work on the development side when it comes to environmental effects and such.
それでは行きましょう
Alright, so let's take a look.
Whee!
See, look, it looks exactly like Idleshire.
Yeah.
I like the docks kind of area. Very Phoenician. Very Hogwarts.
Yeah.
ありがとうございます
Thank you.
いやもうねちょっとゾッとしますねこれは美しいナイスだ住みたいハウジングが楽しみじゃねえよ
Everyone's excited about how beautiful the areas, and they're waiting for when we're going to get housing in the area as well.
次イシュガルドだって言ってるじゃない
We told you. Next up is Ishgard for housing.
まあまあオールドシャーレはね学術都市ですけどあんまり協力的
See, this is what I hate people. If they stopped fucking going to the comments,
Yes, it is a seat of knowledge and a city of scholars.
they
but
wouldn't
as you
stall.
can see, these guys don't really like to cooperate and play nice with the rest of the world.
そう地の都学術都市オールドシャーレアンこれまでストーリーの中では幾度も語られてきた都市ですが行月のフィナーレでいよいよ皆さんこの都市へ上陸となります
So we've all heard about this city-state in the story, but finally in Endwalker, you, the Warriors of Light, will be able to set foot.
ちょっとねスクリーンショットを見ていきましょ
So take a look at some screenshots.
う
They've just shown us it. Why are they showing us screenshots? God damn it. That's what I mean. They love to stall.
Yeah.
You could probably condense this down to like a half an hour
I would like to
if
say,
they just didn't stall so
for a
much.
lot of us on the development team that have been around since the early years of development on Final Fantasy XIV, the city-state of Sharlayan is very important to us.
実はですね Q14 僕が担当する前、オリジナル14の開発中期までは実はスタートタウンというのはウルダハ、グリダニア、リムサ、イシュガルド、アラミゴ、そしてオールドシャーレアン
It's canting, but I don't know what about.
する予定だったそうです
So back in the days before I took charge of 1.0,
I can see your mic is picking up your
for quite some time in development.
monitor at the moment.
Olda, Gridania,
Pardon?
Limsula Minsa,
The mic is picking up your
結果ですね開発期間が、なくなって
Oh, I'll turn it
皆
down.
さんご存知の通り3都市でスタートすることになり、僕が担当してからレルムリボン申請版を作るにあたってはやっぱり
Is that better?
期間を考えると3都市でスタートせざるを得なかったという状況になります。
yeah. It's
but in the end, there was not enough time
It's still
and
picking up, but not too loud.
which was a status quo that we maintained when rebuilding the game.
Just edit it out, forehead.
ただ正直ねゲームデザインのことを言うと3都市でもね僕正直スタートは多すぎると思うんで
But from a game design's perspective, I even think that 3 starting cities is a lot for a game.
仮にね6都市でね僕引き継いでたらね結構困ってたと思う
If there were 6 cities to start at when I took over on the game, it would have been a lot of work to get all of them done.
だって考えてみてください初期シナリオ6個作んなきゃいけないんですよだって
So you'd have to make, just think about it, when you have a story, you have to create 6 separate stories for each city. That's a lot of work.
結果的にですねそこから10年近い歳月をかけて、蒼天のイシュガルドでイシュガルドの大神門が開き、ストーンブラッドでアラミゴを奪還しそしてようやくオールドシャーレンへたどり着きます
But it's been almost 10 years since then. And in that time, the gates to Ishgard have opened. Alamigo has been liberated. And now we look to Old Sharlayan.
ようやくですね皆さんにその全貌をお見せすることができそうです
And finally, we can show you the whole picture that we've wanted to for such a long time.
もうねこの邸宅もねすごいですよね
We look at this very lavish manor here.
これ実はね意味のある建物なんですけど
This is very important to the story.
中身はねそうしてこう
But that's Louis Suarez estate
さあ
for all us 1.0 players.
今お話ししましたのでこのまま先ほど公開したフルトレーラーの内容についても触れていこうと思います
Okay, and because Old Sharlayan was featured in the extended trailer that you just watched, we're going to talk a little bit about the trailer.
まずなんといっても注目点ソケン歌うまくなったよね
So the first thing that we noticed, that you all probably noticed, was that, wow, Soken's gotten really good at singing in these past couple of months.
ねえ最初ね
Well, the first thing I noticed was Estinian's freaking dragon.
って言ってただけだったんだけど
Yeah.
So yeah, a couple months ago, the trailer, it was just kind of, Soken mumbling a little bit, but this time,
まずはちょっとその行月のフィナーレのメインテーマに触れていこうと思います
so we'd like to talk a little bit about the main theme for Endwalker.
今回ですねメインコンポーズいつも通り、ソケン正義でお届けしております
And so, of course, the main composer is our world famous Masayoshi Soken.
そして歌詞ね 我らのマイケル・クリストファー・コージ・フォックスがメインシナリオライターの石川にアドバイスもらいながら書いた。
Yes, and the lyrics were handled by me, Michael Christopher Koji Fox. I got some feedback from the main scenario writer, Natsuko Ishikawa, and used that feedback to produce the lyrics.
なんか僕聞いたらひどいスケジュールだったらしいじゃない。
Ah, yes. So Yoshida-san has said that he heard that the schedule for creating these lyrics was really, really tight.
How many days?
How many days? Let's see. 1, 2,
3? Only 3?
about 3 or 4 days.
About 3-4 days.
Yes, about 3 or 4 days.
No months.
Not months, not weeks. 3 or 4 days. But
Stallers. Just give us all the information we want.
Sophia was 2 hours.
Just download it into my brain.
Crazy. はい。というわけで、3日もしくは4日で、
I noticed Ishikawa was actually on the lyrics, which is interesting.
のでね、また意味をぜひね、あれこれ推測してもらいたいと思います。
3 or 4 days. Yes, 3 or 4 days, but I think we've got some really good lyrics up there. There's lots of hidden meaning behind them, as always. So it'd be fun to go in and speculate as to what we're talking about. All right.
そしてですね、アディショナルボーカル、ゲストボーカルとして、今回はアマンダさん、トゥモローワンズモローで、おなじみアマンダさんにまた参加していただいてます。
And then for additional female vocals, we had a guest singer, Amanda Aiken, who you also might remember from the Shadowbringers song Tomorrow and Tomorrow.
そして今回はですね、満を持して演奏はザ・プライマルズで生音でお届けしております。
And the music we heard was recorded live by the Primes.
そしてですね、最初に冗談で言いましたが、ソケン歌うまくなったよねって。当然ソケンではございません。
And then we talked a little bit earlier about how Soken's got really good at singing, but that was just a joke. The main vocals is not Soken this time.
今回メインボーカルを、サム・カーターさんに務めていただきました、アーキテクツというね、バンドのボーカルでもあります。
No one to tell us all this stuff, and I'm like, I have no fucking clue who half of these people are.
The vocal stylings of Sam Carter.
素晴らしい曲ね、いっぱいありますんで、アーキテクツの曲もぜひね、聴いてみてほしいです。まあ、特に今回ね、俺、ストーンブラッドのところからのシャウトがもうたまんなく好きなの。
And so the Architects have released many, many albums. They have a lot of great songs out there. If you have not heard of them, please check them out. Personally, I really, really loved how the trailer turned out, and especially that part where they sing the Stormblood theme, Storm of Blood, where he starts shouting. It's great. Gives me goosebumps every time.
そうっすよね、シャドウ、ストーンブラッドのとこめちゃめちゃかっこいいですよね。コメントでもみんなそうそうって。
Everybody also liked the Stormblood's part.
実はですね、この裏で、各言語のフルトレーラー、もう YouTube で公開されてます。
Okay, and already during this keynote, we have released the trailers for all of our other language versions as well on YouTube.
おっと待って待って。でもね、見るならこの
Just tell me about the content. God damn it. I wait till they
Wait
flip.
until the end of the keynote to go and watch them.
そうそう、ちょっと、もうちょっと見てくるじゃないんだよ。
People are like, wait a minute, I'm going to go watch it now. Can you hold on the keynote for a second?
まあ一応公開ね、ちゃんとすぐしましたんで、たっぷりね、聞いていただければと思います。
All right, so it's ready in all versions. So when you have the time, please go and check it out and listen to it as many times as you like.
さて、では、ちょっとフル版のトレーラー
as many times as you like, noob.
So let's introduce you to some of the characters from the trailer as well.
もうね、すげえ汗が。
Oh my god.
I'm very sweaty.
If they tell me like characters we already know who they are, I'm going to actually bitch slap them.
エスリアン。
Justinian.
まあね、彼の参戦を待ち望んでいた人も多かったんじゃないかな。
First fucking one.
シュガルドのね、トレーラーではほんのちょっとね、ヘルメットかぶった状態で実は出てますけど、今回ついにね、外して、暁としてついにね、参戦となります。
So plenty of you have been waiting for him to join the cause. We did see
Tell me about his
him in the
dragon.
trailer, but he had his helmet on.
Yeah.
This time, he arrives without helmet, and he's joined the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
まあここでね、ヘブンズワードのアレンジがね、流れるのもフルトレーラーしびれるところ。
Can't hear properly. Let me just turn my TV back up again.
Noticed, there's
Right,
piece of
all right.
Hemsworth music in the trailer where he appears.
先日の 新情報発表会でもお伝えした通り、このエスティニアン、行月のフィナーレで新たなフェイスとして皆さんと共に危機に向かって立ち向かってくれることになります。
And as I mentioned in the announcement showcase, not only will he appear in the story, but he'll also join you in the dungeons as part of the trust system in Endwalker.
だね、さっきもね、なんかむちゃくちゃなね、スターダイブ決めてたし、パッチではね、なんか一人で帝国兵器ボコボコにしたりしてましたけど、あそこまで強いかどうかはわかんないです
So
ね。
as to whether his attacks when he's in the trust system will be as intense as what we just saw in the trailer, well, we'll have to see.
まあ、一人の時強いね。
Yeah, he's strong when he's alone.
仲間いるとちょっと甘えてくるかもしれない。
So yeah, when he has other people around him, he kind of tones it down a little bit. Think of their feelings.
そう、これまで、ね、イシュガルドの騎士を抜けてから、
Gosh, he just wants to take off that hat.
That's right.
She's having to hold it
Homeless
up.
for a while, but he's finally found a new job. He's employed.
そして次、おっと、竜騎士エスティニアンをその背に乗せて共に戦うね、ドラゴンが、登場してました。
And of course, there's also that dragon that carries Estinian on his back and fights at his side.
エスティニアンはかの竜のことをブリトラと呼んでましたね。
So Estinian called him Vritra, didn't he?
まあ、ブリトラといえばね、フレースベルグとかニーズヘックとかティアマットと同じ七大天竜の一翼、それがどのようにシナリオに絡んでくるのか、ぜひご注目ください。
And Vritra, like Hraesvelgr and Nidhogg and Tiamat, is actually one of the first brood. So as for how he's involved in the story, well, you're just going to have to wait and find out.
Which means we only have one
コメントですね。ブリトラ
first brood left to account for.
点じゃなくてね、うです。ブリトラです。
There's some misspelling on the Japanese side. Vritra, but it's Vritra.
かっこよく読んであげてください。さあ、そしてもう一人、なんかね、エレゼン、ね、謎のエレゼンいましたね。
That's Alphino's dad, I guess.
Intriguing Elezen.
彼の名前はまだちょっとこの場ではね、明かすことができないのですが、行月のフィナーレの中で非常に重要な役割を果たしていくことになります。
But I cannot reveal his name yet. However, he does have a very important role in the Endwalker story.
He's the fucking Levia's dad.
パッチ 5.55 黎明の使徒パート2にて明かされることに。
Why do we try to be smart?
However, you won't have to wait long to learn about him, as you'll learn more about him in the patch 5.5, part 2 of Death Unto Dawn.
いや、しかしね、みんなね、すごいんだよな。まあ、もしかすると、まあ、コウジとね、小田さんが一生懸命頑張って作ったエンサイクロペディア・エオルゼアをね、熟読している人にはもしかしたらもう分かってるかもしれない。
However, as it seems in the comments here, those players who have read the Encyclopedia Eorzea's back and forth may already have a good idea of who this is.
Or just people who pay attention.
ねえ。何さん
I feel insulted.
A lot of speculating going on YouTube.
さあさあ
Here's where I'm wrong. I look like a complete twat again. Like with the Necromancer.
And that's all we have for the characters in the trailer.
もちろんですね、ちょっと紹介はしてないですけど、暁の決命の盟友としてですね、サンクレットやウリエンジェ、そしてヤシトラ、さらに新加入したグラハ、皆さんと共に戦っていくことになります。
However, you will also have your other allies with you from the Scions of the Seventh Dawn for the Endwalker story, Yashtola, Thancred, Urianger, and even Grahatia.
漆黒のヴィランズでは皆さん第一世界を共にね、彼らと一緒に救って世界の真相の一部に彼らも一緒に触れました。さあ、行月のフィナーレでさらなる謎が解き明かされていくときに、まあ、彼らの活躍っていうのにもぜひご注目ください。
In Shadowbringers, along with saving the first, they also stumbled upon part of a truth of their own world. As for what they will do about it, and for what further revelations await them, you have to see it in Endwalker.
あ、もちろんね、クルルさんもね、タタル城もね、活躍しますよ、暁ですから。
And Kryl and Tataro will also be there as well. I mean, they're the Scions. We can't leave them.
さあ、では次のセクション行きましょう。
All right, let's move on to the next section.
続いては新たな新規フィールドのお話を
Fucking get comfy, I swear to God.
Alright, so let's delve a little bit deeper into the new places your journey will take you.
我々拡張パッケージ毎回 RPG1 本分以上の、体験をということで新たなエリアも多数実装されてます。今回も同様ですし、むしろシナリオ全ボリュームがめちゃくちゃ増えてるので、その新たなエリアをちょっと紹介していこうかなと思ってます。
And as I've said, you can always expect the same amount of new brand new areas to be added to Endwalker as in previous expansions. We have a lot to show you today.
じゃあどのエリアっていう前にここも早速動画を見てもらおうかなと思います。
So again, rather than talk about it, we have again some world premiere footage to show you. Let's take a look.
Uh-oh.
Are you in that?
World premiere footage.
What the fuck is that music? That's in Sharlayan. Well, where's the collector's edition, Mount?
So, この今動画でご覧いただいた新しいこれフィールドです。このフィールドの名前をラビリンソスと呼びます。
So, the first of our walkthrough videos here shows an area called Labyrinthos.
じゃあちょっとねスクリーンショットも見ましょう
So
か。
let's take a look at some screenshots of the same area.
まあね今動画でもご覧いただきましたがかなり不思議なフィールドです。
As you probably noticed in the video, the place is a bit of an enigma.
すごいね建物には歴史を感じるんですけど、
うん
なんか妙なね機械的設備もありますよね。
The buildings have a very ancient old look to them, but there seems to be some kind of strange technology at work here as well.
ちょっとだけネタばらし
Ah,
しま
God,
す
I've
が
lost my drink. There we go.
ここ地下です。
So I'm going to tell you something special about this place. This is actually underground.
地下に存在するフィールドでドーム上の空には人工太陽が存在するようです。
So yes, Labyrinthos is a subterranean area with a dome serving as a sky lit by an artificial sun.
まあ、なぜこんなフィールドが存在するのか、まあ、そして誰によってね作られたのかなどなど、まあ謎はねすごいあるんですけど、まあ、目的があってね皆さんここを訪れることになります。それはね皆さんの手でお確かめいただきたいと思います。
So of course, where this place is and why you have to go there are all mysteries that you can look forward to, unraveling on your own in the Endwalker story.
Thank you.
The architecture's freaking Sharlayan. Surely it's got to be under Sharlayan.
紹介を続けていこうと思います。
All right, and we have another.
We already knew Fab now was a new area.
サベネア島になります。
So next is Thavnir and Radz-at-Han.
こちらもですね、ストーリー上は何度も名前が登場してきたエリアです。
So again, you may have heard these names before a lot in the main scenario up until now.
で、このサベネア島と、それからトレーラーにも出たラザハン、2つまとめて動画にしてありますので、こちらも早速ご覧いただこうかなと思います。
But unlike the announcement showcase, today we have actually brought you some in-game footage of both the area and the city. Let's take a look.
いきますよ。
It's very Besaid from Final Fantasy X. If you look at the tent.
Hmm.
That map is horrible. I'm still getting it, but it's horrible. Even those draperies remind me of Final Fantasy X.
No.
No.
Nope. I know nothing about Final Fantasy X.
What are you on about? It's well Final Fantasy X. It's freaking Besaid's kind of like draperies and stuff. Are you trying to shit me? Is that what you're doing?
So what
No.
did you think of the Radz-at-Han Thavnir walkthrough video?
動画はね、明るい青空で展開されてましたが、まあちょっと
Just be a second. Keep recording.
現在
Yes.
環境の作り込みをやってる途中です。まあね、あんな大空にね、なればいいんですけどね。
So as I mentioned before, we're currently in the process of creating these areas, and that means adding environmental effects as well. In the video, you saw Radz-at-Han under a nice, peaceful blue sky. Whether it will be like that in the real game,
ねえ、まあ僕ここね、すごいお気に入りの場所です。
So as you see here in the screenshot, this is one of my favorite places in the new area.
まあ新しい文化圏ですよね。
A completely different style of architecture than we've seen in the other areas.
木の葉っぱの色とか、それからそれを映し込むね、水の色とか、かなりね、やっぱり地域色出すのにこだわってるところなんで、すごいお気に入りです、僕。
The art and graphics team have spent a lot of time, selecting colors that would make this area look very original, like the greens of the trees and the color of the water.
I just realised I spoke without unmuting my mic.
Oh.
Another.
まあ以前もちょっとお伝えしましたが、サベネ
Said, see, I didn't miss out.
ダンサーの発祥の地でもあるので、どうやらね、ドリコの像があるエリアもあったりするようです。
And as a lot of you know, who have played the dancer story, Thavnir is the origin of the dancer job, and so
Don't be yawning on the job.
まあちょっとここまでを見ただけでも、行列のフィナーレという特徴が、各エリア趣がガラッと変わるんだなというの
The
が
most unprofessional recording ever.
It's the most best recording ever.
The announcement showcase, you can see
Sure thing, bro.
different types of areas from what we've had before in the game, as well as within the Endwalker expansion itself.
次に
Next time we have one of these fan fests, and we bloody record our reactions to it, we need to be way better prepared.
Yeah.
まあ
I mean,
こちらに
This is the
関して
first time for
Oh.
everything.
雰囲気を見ると
That looks nice.
漆黒のヴィランズに登場した妖精教イルメグのようなね、ファンタジーあふれるちょっと
Oh, is this on the moon?
エリアに見えますよね。
I mean, if you look at it, it kind of looks similar to, that has that same fantastical feeling that Ilmeg from Shadowbringers had.
これもね、新しいエリアに。
This is also a new area.
Why does Cody choose to be really quiet compared to Yoshi when he's the voice I need?
It really existed.
こちらに関しては詳しいことが言えないので、まあちょっとアートワークだけで、ご紹介、ここまでとしておきましょう。
However, we cannot say any more about this area today, so we're just going to leave it with this screen or with this artwork.
新情報発表会でも、ご紹介しましたこちら新たなフィールドの一つガレマルドです。
But Shulk's hometown.
Right, and just as we introduced last time, you will be heading to the imperial capital of Garlemald.
まあ今回、ガレマル帝国の首都ガレマルドにも皆さん足を踏み入れることになります。
And so players will actually be able to visit the
Oh,
imperial.
they have actual roads.
まあ、パッチ 5.5 で語られているようにガレマル帝国は内からもう瓦解しようとしています。
But as we learned in patch 5.5, the Garlean Empire has already started crumbling from within.
まあ実際そのゼノスとかね、アシエン・ファダリニエルの目的っていうのはまあどんなものなのか。
So by going here, maybe we will find out what Xenos and Pandemonium are actually after.
そしてね、皆さんが行くことになるよと言われている月ですね。
And there's one more place that we have not touched upon yet that we've been talking about, the moon.
まずはアートワークご覧いただきましょ
So let's take a look at some of the artwork.
う。なんとそこ紹介すんだみたいな。
Did you forget we're off to the moon?
No, not really.
He reacted was like,
名前
oh my god!
嘆きの海と申します。
And so, this area is going to be called Mare Lamentorum.
どのようにしてここへ訪れ、まあ、
My biggest question is how the fuck do we get to the moon?
もちろん語れないんですが、ほんの少しだけ、その嘆きの海と呼ばれる月面の特定地域、これもですね、動画を持ってきましたので、ちょっと見てみることにしましょう。
So how you will get to this place and what will you find? Well, I cannot say too much here, but we can give you a little
Surprise.
sneak peek with this exclusive video. Have a look.
It's got Amarosian music. Looks very moony.
さあ、いろいろな妄想がはかどりますが、どうやら空気とか重力はありそうですね。
It's a very interesting place, and a lot of people have already probably started speculating. But one thing we can say from the video is it does look like that there's air and gravity. So,
まあそれらがある理由もちゃんと語られるので、
but there is a reason for that, and that will be explained in the expansion.
まあそしてね BGM ね。
And everybody's touching upon the BGM. Lots of
あ
comments
れ
about it.
あれがね何を意味してるんだろうね。
Why is that BGM? We'll have to find out in the story.
この嘆きの海というエリアは月そのものを指すんじゃなくて月のエリアのことを指します。
So when we say Mare Lamentorum, does not mean the entire moon is Mare Lamentorum. This is just one area on the moon.
現実での月もそうですが、月もね、いろんな場所に名前があるんですよね。静かの海とかね、クレーターにも名前あるし。まあ、ああいう形で月の特定エリアのことだと思ってください。
Just like the moon here that we have has area names based off of the sea, like the Sea of Tranquility, so does the moon of Hydaelyn.
さあ、あそこに何が待ってるのかはこの場ではお伝えしないので、ぜひ皆さんのね、手でね、謎を解き明かしていってもらいたいと思います。
However, we cannot say any more today, and so it's going to be up to you guys to find out once Endwalker is reviewed.
もうさ、すごいツイッチのコメントはさ、We remember で埋まってんだよ。
It's all we remember.
ならば覚えていいのね。すごい。そしてですね、ムーンハウジングって言うなよ。
Moon housing? Moon housing. Please don't say moon housing.
ツイッチすごいよ。We remember だらけですよ。
Let's terraform the moon.
熱い熱い。いやーすごいな。もうね、YouTube はね、もうすごいスピードなんですよ。
So many comments on YouTube. It's scrolling so fast.
月に移住がトレンドに入ってるって言ってますね。
So it's already trending about how you can move to the moon.
多分 Twitter のトレンドじゃないのかな。さあさあ、じゃあ進めてまいりましょう。
All right, so let's continue.
で、まあ盛りだくさんの、行月のフィナーレ、その新フィールドをご紹介したんですが、その冒険の先で出会う
Mute myself, I'm gonna eat something to get some energy.
強敵とかをご
Yeah.
紹介しようと思います。
So we've shown you a bunch of new areas. Now let's talk about the types of enemies or creatures that will be populating those areas that you'll meet when you get there.
いや、本当にこのナマズ王のドヤ顔。
Oh, that fish guy in the middle there. Oh,
This screenshot with
The Namazo.
yeah.
They're great.
まずはこちら。
Like,
Right, we'll start off with this.
3人のキャラクターのようですが、
The fuck?
こちら。
So we have this trio of characters first.
メガス三姉妹と呼ばれているようです。
And it looks like they're called the Mega Sisters.
まあもちろんね、メガス三姉妹といえば、ファイナルファンタジー4にも、その名前がね、登場してますが、もちろんそのキャラクターたちと同一
I feel like the smallest of the Mega Sisters is Lalafal.
Yeah.
どんな役割があるのでしょう。
And you may know these characters from Final Fantasy IV. However, they aren't quite the same in Final Fantasy XIV. The Mega Sisters for 14 will be completely original. As to what role they serve and who they are, you have to find out in the story.
そしてもう1キャラクターご紹介しましょ
I would like to introduce another tribe.
う。おっと
Hemingways.
経路が変わりましたね。
Oh, this is completely different from the ones we just saw.
種族なのかな、
Wonder if this is a tribe.
こちら名前をレポリットと。
And so these are called the Labyrinthos.
さあ、かわいいよね、こいつらね。
Very cute.
物語でですね、実は
The fact that they don't just call them Hemingways when it's such an obvious Hemingway reference.
Characters play a
Shameful.
very important role in the story.
どうやらですね、彼ら月にお住まいのようです。
And these guys you will find on the moon.
あ、ちょっと待ってね。飲みかけの水どれだっけ？
Trying to find your water?
開幕さ、ダイエットの話をちょっとしたじゃない？
Okay, so we talked a little bit about
Very self-conscious that I'm eating like a twat on
Yeah.
mic.
このリーパーの衣装を作るのに体型をまあ維持しろとは言われたんですよ。
So when creating this costume, I was told specifically to keep my weight down.
あまりの暑さでね、むしろこれやってたら痩せるな。
But maybe I didn't even have to work out. I could have just worn this because wearing this is making me get thinner because of all of the sweat that I'm.
すみません、ありがとうございます。さあ、
All right,
そのね
thank you. Let's move on.
謎多い月面世界で彼らね、レポリットにどんな役割があるのか、まあそれをね、どう果たすのか、そもそも味方なのかどうかね、いろんな想像がかきたてられますね。
So these Labyrinthos, what are they doing up there on the moon? Are they friends or are they foes? I bet you're coming up with theories already.
まだこの先ちょっと新情報もねあるんですけど、一旦ここで
They are
前
enemies.
回
I can
新
feel
情
it.
報発表会でお伝えした内容も、前回ね見てない方もいらっしゃると思うので、
What we're doing now on the moon is being Hemingways.
We always at these keynotes, we've talked about a lot of new stuff, but before we want to go to even more new stuff, we want to go back to the announcement showcase and touch upon some of the things that we talked about there for people that may have missed the showcase.
いや、吉田息上がってきたなって言われた。ダメだ、そんなことないよ。
People
Let me just
figure
go
out
to
what
sleep while they tell me shit I already know.
Show 'em.
いけるよ。
Do it.
さあ、ダイジェスト簡単にいきましょう。
All right, let's take a quick review.
まずお伝えしましたね。新しいもう一つのジョブ、ヒーラージョブ、賢者の実装があります。
Right, first off, we have the release of the new job, the new healer job, the Sage.
レベルキャップ解放されて上限が90になり、そして新たなロールクエスト、今回一つ増えてね、ロールクエスト、ご用意されております。
And along with a higher level cap going from 80 to 90, we have 5 new role quest lines. Everybody's telling you can put the side down.
大丈夫、まだ大丈夫よ。
But yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
神木キュンと話すまでは倒れられないんでね。
Cannot fall down yet.
さあ、で次ね。フェイスシステムアップデートされて、スティニアンが追加される先ほどね、お知らせしました。
Right, and there's going to be a big update of the trust system.
That PvP stuff is something I'm looking forward to.
そうですね、バトル
As someone who actually enjoys the PvP in this game.
And then one of the biggest things that we talk about was the downscaled values in battle calculator.
Oh, please don't tell people about this again.
時間がかかってしまうので詳しくはお伝えしませんが、もちろんトピックスも出します。ぜひですね、前回の新情報発表会の中で詳しくその意味と内容を触れてますので、そちらをご確認いただけると助かります。
We will be talking about this, not talking about this here today at the keynote,
Thank
but we
God.
will have a detailed explanation of exactly what we're doing after this, and so please look forward to that. And anyone that needs information on it, please make sure you watch that.
そして長年ですね、光の戦士たちの、腰回りをね守ってきた帯装備なんですが、6.0 のタイミングで、アイテムカテゴリーから、消滅させていただこうかなと。その分、メインウェポンと指輪の、あまりテスト容量を増やしていこうと思います。
And as we mentioned before, we are removing the belts from the game and replacing them with more slots for main weapons and rings.
こちらはですね、プレイヤーの皆さん何か特別なことをしていただく必要はありません。すべて遺失物管理人の方にアイテムは移動させていただきますので、かつて光の戦士たちの腰を守っていたものというアイテムとして、遺失物管理人が預かることになりますので、そちらで、思い出に浸るなり、分解するなりしていただきたいと思います。
Don't worry about you losing those belts. Again, we know that they've protected your waist throughout the years, and they might still be.
Don't mind me just dying over here.
Don't worry, just make sure that you put them away before. Again, the information on that is available. Will be available before the patch hits, so you'll know exactly what to do with your belts.
そして新たな少人数の PVP コンテンツを実装するというところ、特にですね、海外勢から非常に多くの実は質問、いただいております。
And of course, there's the announcement about the new small-scale PvP mode. We've had a lot of interest regarding this, especially from users in North America and Europe.
こちらはですね、全く新しいタイプの、ルールによる PVP ですし、新しい報酬システムもご用意してます。
This is a completely different style of PvP system than the current one, and has a completely different reward system.
こちらについてはちょっと別の機会でちゃんとした特集をやろうと思いますので、そちらまで、お待ちいただければと思います。
Again, we don't have time here today to talk about it, but we will be having a specific show that will talk about all of this and give details on this in the near future.
さて、そして、前回お伝えした今度はコンテンツのお話に行こうと思います。
Right, and now we're going to talk a little bit about the new content that we announced at the announcement showcase.
現在、ファイナルファンタジー14オリジナルの、レイドとして、制作しているのがこちらになります。
So first off, the new high-end 8-player raid.
高難易度
For me,
バンマデンパンデモニウム、14オリジナルのボスたちが大暴れする高難易度レイド、絶賛開発中でございます。
This is a Final Fantasy XIV original with original enemies called Pandemonium.
そしてですね、続いてこちら、発表したですね。
I thought he was actually going to talk about it. Well annoyed.
I mean, you're pretty excited for the
The next
Iceland's.
showcase announcement, the one of the Island Sanctuary, garnered an even bigger response than
The Stardew Valley.
Yeah,
スローライフをテーマにしたコンテンツ。
Stardew Valley
こちら
farming.
他人と競い合うという要素はほとんどなくてですね、ソロで気ままに遊べるものとしてパッチ 6.x シリーズ全体を通じてお届けしていこうと思っています。
So we'll be releasing this mostly solo experience over the course of the patch 6.x series, giving adventurers an opportunity to take a break from conflict and competition and enjoy some slow living.
繰り返しですけど、クラフターやギャザラーをやってなくてもプレイ可能なコンテンツですし、もちろんやってるとね、多少メリットがあるようにとは思ってますけど、やってなくても十分遊べるので、ぜひですね、クラフターギャザラーやってないんだよね。
They like revealed Reaper and then have said nothing of like big revelations since.
Yeah.
It's not locked to crafters and gatherers, disciples of the Labyrinthos. This is open to everyone, so you don't need to have one of those classes and those jobs to be able to play this content.
そしてオールドシャーレアンだ月だって言われてますが、次に皆さんに公開されるのはこちら。
And we know a lot of you today have been thinking about living on the moon or living in Old Sharlayan, but the next housing area is Ishgard.
復興していただいた皆さんへの感謝ということで、イシュガルドのハウジングエリアがオープンいたします。
So the firmament is finally complete, and Ishgard is opening its a new housing area to adventurers with gratitude for their efforts.
こちらはですね、すでにお伝えした通り 6.0、行月のフィナーレリリースで見学が可能になって下見をしていただいた上で購入可能になるのはパッチ 6.1 からです。そこご注意ください。
And as I mentioned previously, this area will be open for viewing only in 6.0, with plots available at 6.1.
これに合わせてですね、引っ越しとかっていうところでいくつかね、ストレスが溜まっているところもあると思います。これらも全て調整していこうと思ってます。
Along with adding this new residential area, we know that there are a lot of things about moving to new plots that can cause a little bit of stress for players, and so we're thinking of making adjustments to this type of system.
でもちろん転売対策っていうのも今まで、今もねすごい相当やってるんですけど、これまで以上に力を入れていきます。
And while we're doing our best to stop RMT and housing cheats, we're going to be putting even more effort into curtailing these types of offenses.
もちろんね、その土地そのものを追加するための、サーバー自体のアップデートにも、コストを割いていこうと思います。
And of course, to make sure that everything is stable, we are investing in servers and server infrastructure to make sure that we have the best thing to offer you guys.
そうコメントにあるんですよね。抽選しようってあるんですけどね、抽選システムはすげえ難しいんですよ。サーバーでやるのって。ちょっともちろん考えはしますけど。
I have a lot of comments about people wanting like kind of a lot system for this. That is very difficult to do when over servers, but we will definitely consider.
もちろんやらないとは言わない。ファイナルファンタジー14これまでも時間がかかると言っても何年かかかりでやってきたシステム数多くあります。
Again, that is, we will try the best that we can, and we're always creating new systems to make life easier for you guys, and so we'll definitely look into it.
こちらもその一つ。
Another thing that we've done, a new system that we've added to make life better for you guys, is this.
データセンタートラベルになります。
The data center travel system.
こちら14の、プレイヤーたちがですね、サーバーとかデータ
That's like the main servers, right? Like from EU and North America and so on. With the
Yeah.
data center. Okay,
So
nice.
this is a new system, the second of our systems, along with the world visit system, that will allow
Omega is our server, Chaos is our data center.
regardless of
Yeah.
which server or data center they call home.
なんかツイッチは特定なんだろうね、コメントを連発する癖があるのかね。
Looking at Twitch, we got a lot of people repeating the same messages.
凄さが、そうか、データセンタートラベルの凄さがわからないっていうコメントもありますね。
Don't understand why this is such a great system.
簡単に言うとですね、皆さんのキャラクターデータっていうのはいくつかの、サーバーでね、すごく徹底管理をされていて、それ以外にね、実際にプレイをする。
Other people who are probably thinking, oh, I can go to American servers, and I'm thinking, I can go to Japanese servers and actually clear some fucking content once in a while.
データセンターごとに
Yeah.
管理されていてそこでデータの受け渡しを後からやるっていうことがですね、普通じゃないことなんですけど、しかも運営を止めずにやるっていうのが。
So again, this is a very difficult thing to actually get around because we have a lot of different types of servers. We have our zone servers, which again is just, you know, the servers where players go to play in the areas. But then we also have these data servers that have all of the user information. And transferring that from server to server in real time and managing all that is actually a very difficult thing to do to make sure that data does not get corrupted or interrupted.
ただですね、ワールドカンテレポよりちょっとやっぱり制約が強いです。できないことが多少あります。ただ、他のデータセンターのプレイヤーと交流して、一緒にバトルコンテンツへ行ったりという基礎的なところはもちろん可能なので、ぜひですね、もっともっとたくさんの人と交流をするという仕組みで使っていただければと思ってます。
And though off-world activities will be a little bit more limited with DC travel than it is with world visits, the new system will make it possible for people to interact and take on duties with players from other data centers. And we plan to do our utmost to create new opportunities for these players and to strengthen the player communities.
こちらはですね、6.0 リリースではなくて 6.0 の前に、リリースの予定になってます。当然ね、サーバーにものすごい、修正というか変更コードを入れるので 6.0 よりも前に入れてテストをしながら、進めていきます。
And as for the release of this, as we mentioned before, we plan on releasing this not at 6.0, but actually before 6.0 to make sure that everything is in order. There's a lot of updating to the servers that we need to do, and we need to test that.
明日のプロデュースされたライブでね、5.55 からのスケジュールをね、イベントスケジュールなども含めてちょっとお伝えしようと思いますので、明日のプロデュースされたライブもぜひ、ご覧ください。
We will have more information on this, as well as the roadmap for 5.5 to 6.0 at the Letter from the Producer Live tomorrow.
さてではちょっと新情報の方に戻ろうかと思います。
All right, let's move back to new information.
物語今回
Tell us about stuff, but it's just obvious.
ダンジョンも
Of course, there's new fucking dungeons.
So every story has its conflicts, which means we'll be implementing a number of new dungeons as well.
今日はそのダンジョンからいくつかのダンジョン中の様子をですねまとめてウォークスルーを用意しましたので、そちらをご覧いただきましょう。
So today, to show you some of these dungeons, we've prepared a world premiere video for you. Let's take a look.
I wonder if that's the Tower of Babel.
Hmm.
Okay, that's cool. Just expecting the FF7 bomb run mission Sam to come on. Oh, that was most suddenly bright.
.さあ、フィールドの種類に負けず劣らず、こちらも様々な雰囲気のダンジョンが登場する予定です。
So, as with the new areas, these dungeons have wildly different atmospheres.
レベル90になってから挑むエキスパートダンジョン以外、すべてのダンジョンは、今回メインストーリーに紐づくダンジョンとなっています。
So, aside from the expert dungeons that will be available to you at level 90, each and every one of the ones that you saw is part of the main story, which means that you'll get to see.
ダンジョン内でですね、フェイスたちの活躍にもぜひご期待ください。
You'll get to see what your trust allies do in these places as well.
さあ、続いてご紹介するのはですね、高難易度レイドは紹介したんですが、こちらがまだですね。
So actually, that reminds me.
Tell me something shocking already.
But what about this one?
そう、新たなアライアンスレイドに
Are we actually going to give us information on it? That would be nice.
So I'd like to talk a little bit about the concept behind the new Alliance raid.
6.X シリーズで
Is that the one new crossovers for?
見ていただきましょう。
So first,
Or
let's
is the new crossover they did in Shadowbringers, was that
Yeah.
new? Okay.
Oh, it's the 12.
見たことあるぞみたいなね。
I've seen this.
See, now I'm actually curious.
Symbols before.
これ結構前からあるじゃんみたいなね。
See, they've been in the game for a long time.
こちらのアライアンスレイドタイトルをこちらミソロジー・オブ・エオルゼアと。
Huh.
And so this new Alliance raid will be called Myths of the Realm.
イメージボードにもある通り、今まで直接的には触れてこなかったエオルゼア十二神とは何なのか、その謎、その存在にまつわるアライアンスレイドとなります。
And so, as the art alludes to, it will explore the 12, Eorzea's pantheon, in a way that we haven't been able to see yet in the game.
今回は
I told you it was a 12.
オリジナルレイドとして、その大元の
See, I know what I'm on about.
So again, this
Apart
is
from
an original
Necromancers.
concept belonging entirely
What
to
all?
Coleman, unfortunately not a crossover, so please look forward to it.
The worst part is he's wearing the outfit, so this whole freaking thing, I'm just having to put up with the fact that I was wrong.
あれが変
Marriage?
形してね。
No, no.
そうじゃないよ。そうじゃないよ。
Eternal bond.
僕らいくらロボ好きだからって、あの神殿がこうね、変形したらしい。
That temple is not going to transform, and you're not going to have to fight it. We do like robots, but that probably won't happen.
さて、これでですね、まあ、おおむねコンテンツのご紹介は、まあ、ぼちぼち落ち着いたかなという感じなので、ここからはちょっと発売に向けてのお話をしていこうかなと思います。
All right, so that's nearly all of the in-game features that we have to show you today, but we would like to talk a little bit about release information.
今回ももちろん、コレクターズエディションご用意がございます。
First, we'd like to talk about the collector's edition.
こちらですね。
There's that ugly mount that I showed you.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with a little bit of turn on the shopping channel, shopping network.
まずはこんな、特典がくっついております。
These are what you can expect in the box.
ちょっと何かを出してしまいましょうか。
Let's show you what's inside.
特製アートボックス、ハイクオリティフィギュア、今回はですね、ナイトと。
So we have the special art box as well as the high quality paladin figure.
で、額縁がついたミニアートセット、好きなアートをね、飾っておけるようなものになってます。
And then we have an art collection, a mini art collection, as well as a frame.
そしてですね、ピンズ、アゼム。
And we have an Azim pin.
アゼムが何を意味するか、まあわかりますよね、皆さ
So
ん。
you all know what that means.
これをつけてる人は、バッグとかにこれをつけてる人はね、
So we know if somebody has one of these on their bag,
ね、コレクターズエディション持ってるっていうのもそうだし、
we'll know that they have the collector's
そう
edition.
そう、かつ、ちゃんとね、自慢もできるよみたい
Yes, that's right.
な、はい、感じですね。で、さっきご紹介したばっかりのレポリットがぬいぐるみとしてくっついております。
And there will be a mini plush of the Labyrinth that you just saw.
まあ、せっかくね、これだけ広いステージがありますので、ちょっと実物もご紹介していこうと思います。
And because we have this huge stage here, why not bring out the actual goods and take a look at them here on the stage?
それではすいません、持ってきてください。
All right, please bring out the box.
よいしょ。来た来た。
Right, here we go.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
さて、カメラで抜いてもらっていこうかな。まずはですね、特装ボックスですね。
First off, we have the box.
これ、実はですね、内側にこの特殊印刷で、この外の1枚下に銀の
So
Wow, what
we have
box,
this
Slandy.
silver filter on the outside.
That's a big
ちょっと
box.
ね、わかりづらいのかもしれないですけど、
Will you be getting that?
天野先生の
No, I get all my stuff digitally.
かなりレベルで
Yeah.
かなりね、高度な印刷かけて
I have a digital collector's edition.
We made sure that we did not want to disturb the Amano art, so we have it using a very advanced form of printing technology.
そしてですね、こちら、
Of course, here's the
英雄光の戦士、ナイト
Warrior of
の
a Light,
フィギュアがありますね。
the Paladin figure.
パッセージオブアームズをしている。
Passage of Arms.
でこれね、縦も外せる、この縦エフェクトも外せるので、
Ah, and you can remove the effects.
これね、全部エフェクト分解できるので、まあ、素の状態がいいやっていう人は、ちょっと外してみたりとか、いろいろアレンジできるようになってます。
Yes, you can arrange it any way you like. You can remove the effect or leave it there.
そしてさっきお話ししたこの、ね、ピンズですね。
And here's the Azim pin.
アゼムのピンズ。順番違いますけど。お、こいつ、張り付いとるやん。あ、よかった、外れた。
Thought it was stuck.
はい。じゃあね、可愛らしいレポリットのぬいぐるみ。これね、 カバンにぶら下げられるようにとかでミニサイズになってます。
And here's the leopard. It has a little loop on it, so you can attach it to your bag.
俺の装備で怖そうで怖いの。そしてですね、こちらが、これまで Q14 からずらっと、天野先生の書き下ろしのアートワークとか CG とかをアートワークとしてご用意しているので、こちらをこの
And I wish we'd talk about stuff I care about. My eyes are killing.
Yeah, same.
And we have the collection of
Commitment now, man. Gotta watch it to the end, because you know they'll pull up frickin' Marvel and reveal something right when we decide, nah, no, they're not showing out of import anymore.
in this frame.
早かった。ごめんね。早かった。カメラが追いつけてない。
And then they'll be like, bam, surprise.
まあ、アートワーク、どれアートワーク
Which
が
artwork does everybody want to see? We'll hold up some artwork again. Doesn't look like everybody got to see it before. Here we go.
まあ、Q
That's one from the 1.0.
これ、あれですね、よくコレクターズ、Q のね、コレクターズエディション持ってきてくれる方もいらっしゃいますね、イベントにね。
That's right. This is the artwork that was on the box, the original collector's edition. We see it a lot at fan festivals when players bring.
で、新生オルゼア。
This is a Realm Reborn.
大丈夫という感じで、各拡張のですね、天野先生のイラストもこうご用意
So
し
we have the Amano art from all of our expansions.
大丈夫そうですか？でですね、ちょっと僕、特筆なのがですね、これ覚えてる方はね、結構古くからプレイしてくださってる
So yes, anybody that recognizes this photo has been around Final Fantasy XIV for a long time.
これだってコージも覚えてるよね。
I
Or
remember
just looks on the internet.
これまだ Final Fantasy XIV 担当する前に PC ショップで見たもの、この看板。
I remember going to a computer game shop and seeing this guy displayed.
そしてですね、今回行月のフィナーレのアートワークね。
And now we can see how much he has aged and become battle hardened over the many years. This is the Endwalker version.
そうこれが僕結構やりたかったんです。ちゃんと歴史を刻んできたよっていうことをですね。まあちょっと構造できるだけ合わせたいというお話をして。
And this is something that I really wanted to do. I wanted to have a similar type of pose so we could show the progress and the history of the Warrior of Light through the entire span of the game.
まあ苦労したんですよ彼も。
Yeah, he's had a hard time.
さあではちょっと待ってクリッカー。
Where's the clicker? There
じゃ
it is.
あありがとうございます。いいですよ下げていただいてありがとうございます。
Remove the goods.
よいしょ。吉田バージョンがあって。10年前の吉田の写真と今の写真を見比べられると俺が辛いんで。
So somebody wants to get a picture of Yoshida-san from 10 years ago and put it with a Yoshida-san from now. Like, nah, I don't know if that's.
あ、ピンズもう一回ちょっと待ってちょっと
あ
持ってくれる。
Everybody wants to see the pin again?
ごめんね。
Wasn't enough time to see the pin?
ピンズだけでいいです。ピンズだけでいいです。はいはいありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
Let's get a close up of that
ちょっ
pin.
と次の新しいジョブ考え
Those dudes are probably just like, fuck's sake.
So the next time, yeah, that's the next time we think of a new job, we want one that doesn't have.
そもそもね、正面のカメラをね、僕、認識しづらいんですよね。
It's hard to see where the camera is with this hat on.
どうでしょう
Everybody see it?
力士はいいよ、もう。
More
見えて
sumo
ます
wrestlers. Sumo wrestlers can see.
大丈夫です。ピンズ。
Everybody get a good look at the pin.
これはファンアイテムとしてね、結構重要ですよね。はい、以上です。
All right.
さあ、では、これらはですね、コレクターズエディションの、数量限定特別想定版というものに、付属されてます。
And so what you saw today were the contents of the limited edition collector's edition.
もちろんコレクターズエディションですから、インゲームアイテムも付属しています。
Of course, in addition to those physical items, we also have in-game items available for the collector's edition as well.
ということで今日ご紹介したウォークスルー動画でも、少し見えてましたが、改めてちょっとまず動画をご覧いただきましょう。
And as you may have noticed in some of our walkthrough videos, you saw one of the digital in-game items. But let's take a look in the video.
Told you the ugly horse would be collector's edition. So ugly. I mean, I'm still getting it, but it's ugly.
ターズエディションの
I love a good scythe.
点
Ooh.
アイオ
Hmm?
ン
So the first item that we will have, the digital collector's edition, is the Aryan Mount.
Huh?
But I think in Japanese, it's
Yeah.
Arayon.
アイオン
In English, it's Aryan. In Japanese,
Yeah.
it's Arayon.
アレイ
Arayon.
アレオンアレイ
The Minions and FF4 reference.
アリオン
Aryan.
アリオン
Arayon.
アレイオン日本語名はアレイオンだそうです
Tomato, tomato.
なるほど
Popoto, popoto.
なるほどそれ一緒じゃねちょっと待ってポポ
Popoto,
ポポ
popoto.
ウト一緒じゃねすいませんすいません
Nerds.
こちらが日本語名マウントアレイオンはい
Right. So the Mount Aryan.
さあで、それの他にですね、あちらミニオンポロムがついてきますね
In addition to the new mount, we'll also have the wind-up Palom.
あれパロムは
Where's Palom?
どこ行ったんだよ
Where's Palom?
ね
Why
まあ
only
まあまあ
Palom?
とりあえず
Oh,
ポ
wait,
ロム
well, anyway,
まあ
let's.
はいはいで、あちら今回ね新たなこのジョブリーパーに合わせてですね、そのスペシャルな両手玉フェスサイズというのが
And an in-game weapon for use with the new Reaper job, the Death Scythe.
もちろんねデスサイズねファイナルファンタジー11やってた方にはねちょっと思い出深い、武器かなとも思うんですけどちょっとそのままではあまりにもシンプルすぎるので少し14にアレンジして、実装となります
People who are familiar with Final Fantasy XI will remember the Death Scythe. We tried to use a design that was close to that one, but because it was a little bit bland, we decided to glam it up for Final Fantasy XIV.
さあでは、パッケージの種類についてお伝えしましょう
All right, now let's talk about the different kinds of packages that we have in addition to the collector's edition.
すいません若干ですが、複雑ですごめんなさい
Okay, so this is going to be a
Digital is the one I'm getting.
confusing, so I'm going to try to
Yeah.
explain it here.
まず一番最初重要なポイント、ご注意していただきたいのが今回行月のフィナーレエンドウォーカーからダウンロード版しかございません
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about today, and this is the most important, is that starting with Endwalker, there will be no physical discs, digital download only.
パッケージ版がございませんので、ちょっとゲーム屋さん、ゲームショップとかに行っても売ってないのでご注意ください
And so, because there is no package version, you cannot just go to a game shop and find the package version there.
実際ほとんどの方がですねやっぱり MMORPG ということもあって、あとアーリーアクセスもありますんで予約されてですねダウンロード版で購入される方が本当にもう 85% 以上でした漆黒のヴィランズ
So again, the reason this decision was made is because a lot of things came into factor. First off, this is an MMORPG. Also, because of the early access. The other thing is that we noticed with Shadowbringers that over 85% of our players purchased the digital download version.
というわけでデジタル版へフル移行します
And so for that reason, we've decided to. do
I'm
away with
surprised
the
that
digital-
15% buy the physical version, honestly.
ですので
Yeah.
ちょっとコレクターズエディションのさっきお伝えした特別想定版に関してプラットフォームプレイされているプラットフォームごとにちょっと購入方法が違うのでそれをご説明します
So when talking
Look like a right
about
alcoholic this stream.
it's going to be a little bit different, for players on different consoles and platforms.
まずは Windows 版、もしくは Mac 版でプレイしてるという方、まず説明してください。
First off, we're going to talk about what players on the Windows and Mac version will need.
はい。Windows 版、Mac 版で先ほどの特別想定の物理アイテムね。
Do you still use the Steam version?
Yeah.
Pause the whole. I had to get Logic's using the just the straight up Windows version
And the game, we ask you to buy
because the Steam version's trash.
we just brought out and the one you
It
saw.
is. It is.
あれには、ダウンロードコードも入ってるので、ゲーム本体の。なので、e ストアであれをポチってしていただければ、もうそれで大丈夫です。
So, like I said, this contains the physical items, the digital items, and the Endwalker game code. So, if you want this, that's what you're going to purchase on the e-store.
続いて、
If/when I move to PC, I'll be using the Windows version.
遊んでるよという
Yeah.
方。
So, next, we're going to talk about what players that are playing on the PlayStation 4 or 5 or on Steam will need to do.
いや、さっきの物理アイテムも全部欲しいし、インゲームアイテムももちろん欲しいよ。
So, I want those physical items, and I want those digital items.
そういう方はですね、スクリーンに映ってる、上から2つ目にある、まあ、スライドの上から2つ目なんですけど、行月のフィナーレ特別想定コレクターズボックスってやつをまず買ってください。
So, the first thing for you guys to do, if you want those physical items, you buy that second one, the Endwalker Collector's Box.
そうです。これ何かっていうと、リアルグッズだけのボックスです。
So basically, what is in this box are the physical items that you just saw. No game, no digital items, just the physical items.
なぜなら、すいません。
I get with his old stuff I have to go over, but God, it is tediously boring.
Yeah.
ゲームはなんかね、売るわけにはいかないので。
So you may be asking, why did we do this? It all comes down to how players on the PlayStation and the players on Steam purchase their games. They have to purchase the code through the store.
そうなんですよ。そこにね、物理アイテムがくっついたものを販売するっていうのもちょっとできないので、
We cannot sell physical items with those codes when you purchase them from the PlayStation Store or Steam.
なので白い箱にグッズ全部詰めたファンボックスだけを売り出すので、ファンボックスを買って、かつ、プレイステーションストアとか、Steam のストアで、デジタル版のコレクターズエディションを買ってもらえれば大丈夫です。
And so, what you would need to do is you go to the PlayStation Store or Steam, you purchase either the digital collector's edition or the standard edition, and then if you want the physical
I wonder
items,
if they'll tell us when the pre-orders are actually available for this.
contain the physical items.
そして、いや、待てよと、吉田、いろいろ。
Because you know I'm pre-ordering it.
いいんだと。
Yeah.
部屋がまあ広くないし、さっき
I
の
probably will as well.
とりあえず、物理アイテムはいい。
If it's out like the previous pre-orders, you'll get an EXP bonus earring.
いう方は、書かれているファイナルファンタジー
Yeah.
14行月のフィナーレコレクターズエディションのゲームコードだけ買っていただければいいです。
But then, of course, there are going to be those people like, no, I don't need any of the physical goods. I don't have that big of a room. I don't have a place to put anything. I don't have the money. But I do want those in-game items. I do want that mount. So, what should I buy? For you, there's the digital collector's edition.
Ugly mount, just so it can sit in my mount list and never be used.
そうなってくる。いやいや、待てよ待てよ。吉田。
It's one more statistic.
私はとりあえずプレイできればいいのですよと。
But you do get a cool Necromancer scythe.
Which I'll, again, probably... The funny thing is, I'm probably going to get those collector's edition stuff and never use any of them. Because I'll probably find a better glam for the scythe in-game. The
Yeah.
mount's fucking... The mount's fucking ugly. And then I always forget to use my minions.
The Endwalker game.
まあみんなね、今日ね、ファンフェス見てくれてる人たちはね、もちろんね、コレクターズエディション買ってくれると僕は思ってるんですけど、
But I know that if you're here today watching this keynote, you're probably going to want to get that collector's edition with a box. So.
選択は自由ですからね。
But, you know, you have the right to choose, so no pressure.
さあ、 まあまあまあ、ちょっと、はい、宣伝はできました。まあ、数量限定ですので、ぜひですね、物理版の Windows Mac でプレイされている方、もうまとめて買っちゃうぞという方、e ストア、ぜひご検討ください。そして、Steam、PS4、PS5 でプレイされている方、物理アイテム欲しいぞという方は、さっきのね、ボックスをいち早く e ストアで予約してください。
And so, as I mentioned, and as here, the collector's edition and the collector's boxes are both limited runs. There are only a few of them, and so if you want those, you need to purchase them, pre-order them now.
さて、続いては予約特典のお話に移りましょう。
But now we have to talk about the pre-order bonuses.
さあ、皆さん当然プレイするので予約
These would be the more important
そ
items.
して予約をしていただいた方に、予約特典をこれからご紹介したいと思います。
And so, those of you who want those bonuses, because you're going to want to play the game early, we have the pre-order bonuses.
ご予約、まあどのバージョンでも構いません。行月のフィナ
Told
ー
you
レ
you'd get earrings.
をご予約
Yeah.
いただいた皆さんにはこの2つのデジタルアイテムをプレゼントさせていただきます。
And so, here are our
If Parliament Power and minions don't interact with each other, I'm going to be really
with any of
pissed.
the versions that we just showed you, the collector's edition, the digital collector's edition, the standard edition. If you pre-order it, this is what you get.
こちらにですね、ミニオンパロムがいらっしゃいますね。
And here we have the other half of Palom and Porom, the Palom minion.
あれさっきパロム見ましたよね。
Porom was, yeah.
コレクターズエディションを予約すれば
If you pre-order the digital collector's edition, you get
パロム
Porom
で
and
予約すればいざ
Palom.
はい。今日の揃いますね。汚ねえってか。
You're like, oh, you're gonna make us do that?
プロデューサーですからね。
That's a producer in charge of
プ
the
ロデュ
money.
ーサ
So
ー
it's
ディレクターですね。
producer and director.
はい。だって予約しない人いないでしょう。
But we know that all of you are gonna pre-order it. Who doesn't pre-order it?
でもう一つ、アクセサリーベネフィナイヤリングは、前回漆黒のヴィランズでも、付けさせていただいたアイテムと同じでレベリングに非常に最適、自動的にパラメーターが変動するアイテムになってますので、レベリングに非常に最適なので、こちら手に入れてですね、プレイしていただけるといいかなと思います。
And the Memphina earring that you see here is similar to the earring that we gave out as a pre-order bonus for Shadowbringers. It will really help when you need to level.
さてさて、
Say EXP.
もちろん、
Yeah.
I mean, it'll only be useful for me for Sage and Reaper for like 10 levels, and then we'll be fucking useless to me again.
And of course, pre-ordering is not just about items, but it's also about that early access.
I got banned during the early access for Shadowbringers. Absolutely broke my heart.
Yes. For most
They let me
people,
play like an hour and then banned me. I just got into Lakeland, and then I got took into GM prison. I was like, oh yeah, you've had a complaint about you, you're banned for a week.
So for all of you,
So my whole early access was pointless.
the new story, the new jobs, the new areas,
You can bet I was
get
pissed
in early
off.
access and find out.
さてさて、新情報発表会、そしてこの基調講演と2度にわたってお伝えしてきた行月のフィナーレの情報ですが、まあ、あとはほぼほぼね、楽しみにお待ちいただくだけになってきたかなと。
Okay, so I've told you all I can during the announcement showcase that we had a few months ago, as well as at this keynote. And all that's left is to look forward to what's to come in Endwalker.
お発売日はあれ社長来ないのって感じ。
So, that's right, the release date. And so everybody's expecting the CEO to come out and say, hey, hold on.
おいまだかよみたいな。わかりましたわかりました。もうね、社長がステージに登ってきてしまう前に僕からお伝えしようか
Okay,
な。
so before he gets on the stage, I'm just going to tell you the release date.
こちらです。
And here we go.
まずは今回も吉田明彦さんに、スペシャルなこう群像シリーズとして両月の群像を書き上げていただきました。
So here you see the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, done by Akihiko Yoshida.
発売日はですね、まず
Nice artwork.
Yeah, that's actually pretty nice.
21, we did it. We made it in 2021.
間に合ったよ。2021年ね。間に合った。
Okay,
そして、
2021, a month,
出していきましょう。こちらです。
November.
はい。
23rd.
はい。2021年11月23日、発売となります。
So our official release date is November 23rd, 2021.
まあやっぱり普通のちょっとすいませんこれまでのね出してきた拡張に比べると
So how many months is that from now? We're on the 5th, so that'll be
6 months from now.
遅いかなとは僕も思います。
half a year.
So
Yeah.
you see this date, and a lot of our players who have experienced the expansions up until now, we usually are pretty good about getting them out every 2 years. This one is out a little bit late. There are a lot of reasons, including the coronavirus. We tried as hard as we could.
ただですね、まあどちらかというとですね、あまりにも今回ボリュームがでかいがために、まあでもその分ちゃんと調整をして、最高の状態でお届けしようと思ってます。まあこれでも我々すっごいギリギリではあるんですけど、なんとかここに間に合わせるべく、全力で当たっていきたいと思います。
But this time we also have so much content that we want to bring you. So much story, so many new areas, so many new stories. And so we want to have this be perfect when we release it to you. So we're spending as much time as we can on it. And
They say perfect. I can bet you any money there's going to be fucking problems.
ちょっと当時聞きたいんですさ。
you're going to ask me something. Okay.
僕は11月って秋だと思うんで。
So you believe
Mm.
that November is fall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Late fall.
Late, very late.
Late.
Very late fall.
当時はどう思う？
Technically, fall. Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
11月雪降んないんだよな。
I mean, it doesn't snow here.
Autumn.
In Tokyo.
Hate that they say fall.
いやここね難しいんですよ迷ってお伝えするときに仮に最初にバーンって発表するときにウィンターって書いたらすごい遅いイメージがあるでしょうな。こう
So when deciding how to first announce this back in the announcement showcase, if you put out winter, then it just makes it feel like it's so far away.
まあ11月23日はね北海道だとね
It is so far away.
Yeah.
Even when you think of, the November 23rd, I mean, even then, even in like the northern parts of Japan, still, there's not many places that are snowing, so that means it's fall, right?
でもあれかいアメリカとかだとやっぱり11月っていうのをもう言うんですか？
I mean, it depends. Some places further up north may consider November more part of winter than other places do, but
じゃああれだね次から発表するときはフォールアウトウィンターみたいなさ。
so next time, rather than saying fall 2000 whatever, we'll say around fall winter-ish 2000.
すごい曖昧。
Make it even more vague. Yes, that will solve all our problems.
ごめんなさい頑張るのでぜひ
God, they love to stall.
どうしてもねもう1ヶ月ぐらい早く出したいなとは思ってたんですけど開発チーム本当にギリギリのギリギリまでクオリティ詰めて最高の物語お届けしますのでぜひ11月23日の発売を楽しみにお待ちいただければと思います。明日の PLL でも言いますけどそこまでねイベントぎっしりで、お届けしますのでよろしくお願いします。
So once again, I apologize. Really wanted to get this out as early as possible. Hopefully, hoping to get it out maybe in October. But again, the development team is working so hard on creating such a great experience for you guys. We wanted to give them as much time as we could to create something that was really great. And that's why we decided on the November 23rd date. We have more information about that tomorrow in the letter from the producer live. So please look forward to it.
さてさて
All right. So
終わっ
that's
たわ
it.
終わった。
No. 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 You didn't finish. There's one more thing.
まだある
One more thing. One more.
あ、耳あ、耳か。あ、確かにな。
You can't forget that.
社長が来る前にやらなきゃいけないことがあるんだ。
So yeah, one more thing before the CEO arrives.
じゃあもう一個ちょっと動画があるのでご覧いただ
We have a
く。
video, so please check it out.
Male Vieira. Ah, great. More people I'm gonna hate walking around my game.
Look at those ears. No, you love them.
Life. Necromancer and Male Vieira. They looked just as gay as I expect them to do as well. These are like the male blood elves of FF now.
はい、まあ見ていただいた通り、まあ僕としてはですね、前回漆黒のヴィランズでビエラ女性とね、ロスがある男性を立証することで、ファイナルファンタジー14とは
I give
と
up.
してはね、新種族の通過は、まあ、あれで終わりにする本当につもりでいました。
So, as I stated many times, that after the release of Shadowbringers and the release of the female Vieira and the male Hrothgar, that we were not going to be releasing any more playable races, playable characters.
まあしかしですね、まあ、やっぱり世界中から熱望の声をいただいたことと、まあ、何よりグラフィックスチームがプレイヤーの皆さんがここまでなのであればなんとかしていきましょうというふうに総力を挙げて達成してくれたので、今回男性、ビエラがプレイヤー所属として実装できることになりました。
However, because all of you asked so earnestly from around the world, and more importantly, because the graphics team worked extremely hard to make it happen, we've done it again and released the male playable Vieira.
もちろんですね、ロスガールの
I prefer female Hrothgar.
検討はしてるんですが、すいません、今回はこれが精一杯でした。ただですね、ロスガールについてもここまで来れば、必ずやっていこうという決意でいますので、ちょっと時期はずれるとは思いますが、ぜひそちらについてもですね、そこだけ対応しないみたいなことがないようにしていこうと思ってます。
Of course, we did consider adding a female Hrothgar as well, but again, we had our hands full with doing the male Vieira as well as the game. However, that said, we do plan to find an opportunity to add them in the future. We will be bringing the female Hrothgar. It will not come at the same time as the male Vieira at 6.0, but it is coming.
もうね、ここまで来たらね。
Good.
We have to do it.
That makes me happy at least.
はい、まあちょっとね、それに合わせるまでもう一拡張を待つっていう判断もまああったのかもしれないんですけど、まあそれはそれでまたちょっとね、違うのかなというので、もう順次でもいいから行こうという決断をさせていただきました。
I mean, there was the the option for us to wait until both were finished before releasing both of them at the same time, but we decided instead to release them one at a time as they were finished.
さあ、そのビエラ男性のね細かい設定などはまた別の機会でお伝えしていこうと思いますのでご承知おきください。
As for the lore and the story and other details about the male Vieira, we will be revealing those later.
さあではちょっとあまりにもね突然動画が流れたんでよく見てなかったって方もいらっしゃると思うのでもう一回、ビエラ男性の動画を流そうと思います。
Right, and so we realize all of that was quite sudden, so let's give you another opportunity to get a first look at the new playable male V.
You love it.
No, I don't. It's not that I don't like the idea of male Vieira, it's I don't like the idea of people being allowed to play the male Vieira. Because people ruin everything. That's why I don't like Migate or Aura. That dance. God has abandoned us.
さあありがとうございました。
Right, thank you very much.
ではですね、実は本当にもう次の情報で、この基調講演ラストにしたいと思うんですが、もう一つ、皆さんにお知らせがございます。
And we actually have one more important announcement before we bring a close to the keynote.
ファイナルファンタジー14は200以上の国や地域の皆さんに愛され、そして多くの声援をいただいて、ここまで大きく本当に成長させていただくことができました。
Final Fantasy XIV has come this far because of the love and support of players from across the globe. Currently, we have players in over 200 countries, from over 200 countries playing Final Fantasy XIV.
しかしですね、いまだにちょっと一部の地域では、これまで用意してきたデータセンターの、効力が薄くてですね、厳しいレイテンシーの環境下で遊んでいただいている場所もあります。
However, some regions are not well served by our current data centers, and the players there suffer from poor latency.
ファイナルファンタジー14というプロジェクトが、6.0 以降も引き続き成長していく、拡大していく、より大きなもちろん投資をしていくということの、表れとしてもですね、ここで、皆さんに新たなデータセンターの開設をお伝えさせていただきたいと思います。
But we want Final Fantasy XIV to continue to grow even after 6.0, and we're committed to that growth, and we're committed to investing in that growth, which is why we would like to tell you about our new data center.
これまで何年にもわたってオセアニア地域にお住まいの光の戦士たちからですね、なんとかオセアニアに DC を作ってくれないかというリクエストをですね、プレイヤーの皆さんからもメディアの皆さんからも非常に強くリクエストを受けてきました。
Oh, my knees.
From the Oceania region for many, many years, asking for a data center of their own, from players to the media.
現在ですね、数万人以上オセアニア地域で14を、アクティブにプレイしていただいている方いらっしゃるんですが、実際にはその彼らがお住まいの地域というのがですね、同じにもかかわらず、この今存在する3つのデータセンターどこにつないでも、レイテンシーがあまり良くなく、しかも差がないっていう状態になってます。
Currently, we have thousands and thousands of Warriors of Light in the Oceania area that have stuck with this all this time, despite being split up between the NA and JP data servers, despite there being poor latency for them, as well as not really a difference between the servers.
結果的にですね、ヨーロッパ DC で遊ぶオセアニアのプレイヤー、それから日本のデータセンターで遊ぶオセアニアのプレイヤー、そして NA のデータセンターで遊ぶオセアニアのプレイヤーという形で、みんなね、バラバラになってしまってます。
And so we have a community of Oceania users that have been split up. Some of them using data centers in this data center in Europe, some of them using the data center in North America, and some even in Japan.
僕らとしてはやっぱり世界中一人でも多くの方にプレイしていただきたいですし、世界中のねこうやって応援してくださるプレイヤーの皆さんにやっぱり快適な LTC をお届けしたい。そしてより一層一番大事なのはその地域のコミュニティが一つになれることだと思います。ですので今回新たな DC をお届けしたいと思います。
So in order to provide service with less latency and also foster a sense of community for those dedicated players, so they don't have to be split up and they can have their own community, we're adding a new data center for them.
それがこちらになります。オセアニア DC を、今回設立いたします。
And we are creating a new
I love how they're like, oh yeah, so that they don't have to be split up. But by the way, we're also bringing data center travel, so it doesn't matter anyway.
なるんですけど、かねてから長期計画に基づいて、これらの準備を進めてまいりました。
For us, this is a massive undertaking and a multi-million-dollar investment, but we believe that is necessary.
ただですね、申し訳ありません。どうしてもここに来て、コロナ禍によって僕らのエンジニアスタッフが、オセアニア地域ちょっと行くことができないという状態が発生しています。
This plan has actually been in the works for a while. Unfortunately, the coronavirus pandemic has restricted travel and made it so that our server engineers can't actually go to physically see the servers.
ただですね、もともとのスケジュールでは 6.0 より前にこのオセアニア DC をオープンして、プレイヤーの皆さんに無料のワールド移転を使って移動していただいて 6.0 を迎えていただくというのがすいません当初のスケジュールでした。
So our original schedule was that we would have this data center ready before 6.0, allowing players to use the free world transfer to get to a new data center before 6.0 is released.
ただですね、今なんとかすべてリモートワークで現地の、その現地にいらっしゃる、オセアニアのスタッフの方にですね、リモートで指示をしながら、日本にいながらデータセンターを物理で構築するっていうことを今やってます。
However, because again of the coronavirus pandemic, our schedule has been pushed back. Our engineers haven't been able to actually go and see those servers. However, what we've been doing is we've been doing this remotely. We have hooked up with meetings with the people actually there at the server centers, and we have been physically constructing this via digital.
そのためですね、2ヶ月から3ヶ月の当初スケジュールよりズレができていて、6.0 はちょっと間に合いそうもないんですが、6.1 までにはこのデータセンターお届けできる予定です。
So this is unfortunately added about 2 to 3 months to our original schedule, but hopefully we hoping to have the data center open by 6.1.
I at least know one YouTuber is going to be happy with this.
Yeah.
There's a guy I watch called FS. He's like the big lore nerd, and he's from. Or at least he was asking for one for ages.
両月のフィナーレプレイしていただきたいですし、レテシでねちょっとプレイを中断している方もですね、ぜひ、再開をご検討いただけると大変嬉しく思います。
Right, and while you might have to wait a little bit, we hope that all of our players in the Oceania region will enjoy Endwalker, and then when we have the data center ready, be able to make that move.
さあ、そしてちょっとね持ってきたんですけど、これね、オセアニアデータセンターの物理的に今構築しているサーバールームの写真です。
And here we have a picture of the actual server room in the Oceania data center.
これ見てもわかんないとは思うんですけ
You
ど
look
ね。
at this like, wait, what is this?
でもね、これね、サーバーエンジニアが見ると、あのブレードの形はゾーンサーバーだなとかいうのがね、わかるらしいです。
So basically, but server engineers, if anyone out there is a server engineer, they're going to be able to look at this like, oh, okay, those are the zone servers right there, I think.
まあこれ以上はねちょっとセキュリティの問題もあるのでちょっとお見せできないんですけど、今まさに、絶賛構築中ですのでぜひ楽しみにお待ちください。
However, for security reasons, we can't show you any more than this, but we just like to show you that we are currently in the process of building this, and it should be ready very soon.
さて、ハイデリンゾディアーク編のねラストへ突っ走るというふうに今日お伝えしてきました。 14はまだまだ発展と飛躍をしていきます。それを今日また改めてお約束させていただきます。
Alright, so even as we race toward the conclusion of the Hydaelyn and Zodiac tale, remember what you've seen here today and know that there is much more yet to come for Final Fantasy XIV.
その物語の大きなくくり、第1章完結、それを、迎える行月のフィナーレのリリース日は改めまして2021年11月23日になります。
And that conclusion of the Zodiac tale will be revealed on the release of Endwalker on November 23rd, 2021.
そしてご予約をいただいた方に、特典として付与されるアーリーアクセス、そしてアーリーアクセスの日付は2021年11月19日となります。
Of course, though, if you pre-order, you will get to learn all of the answers 4 days earlier on November 19th.
はい、ぜひですね、この日を楽しみにお待ちいただけたらと思います。
And so, please look forward to these 2 dates.
さあ、これで、僕の基調講演は終わりになります。いや、もう工事、本当お疲れ様。
It's been a long 2 hours. We just did it. Just 2 hours. It's good time.
いやまあでもね、これ、ファンフェス、まだね、始まったばっかりですからね、これがオープニングみたいなもんですから。
But again, this is just the opening of a 2-day fan fest filled with great events.
まあ、これからね、楽しいイベントを盛りだくさんの2日間にしていこうと思います。
We have a lot of fun, exciting stuff in store for you over the next 2 days.
さあ、では、ここから一緒にファンフェスを楽しんでいくにあたってですね、まずはこの方をお呼びしたいと思います。株式会社
My freaking internet's just cut out, so I think I'm a bit behind you now.
どうぞ。
But before we can really begin, let's call to the stage the most important person here, Square Enix President and CEO, Yosuke Matsuda.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching that, PCG Casuals. We will be putting our trailer reaction separately, as we said. So if you wanted to still watch that, go watch that. Thank you if you've stayed to the end of this. I know it's a long watch and not the most interesting of them. But we should next week have our podcast up again with a guest, which will be talking about the stuff that we've seen here at FanFest today. If you like the video, please leave a like. It helps us get through the YouTube algorithm, gets our video to more people. Please leave a comment if you want to converse. We're always happy to speak to our watchers. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps us a lot.
Yes.
And we'll see you on the next video.
Yeah, we will.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.